saying that some prosecutors may have accepted bribes to allow bail, a practice that undermines the administration of justice. Don't call it chiripo. And I'm prosecutors. I don't have to pour marry kunzo. I don't have to pour married drink. Again, to turn corruption. I don't have to pour married drink. And this is yes. Tamkat mama lawyer langu rata ampe bail mono. You know, is a non-flight risk. Prosecutor ana baganya rasa yake. Magistrate ngote okay fine $200 bail. Wotoka mkoti mswagati. Nyaya ninga ta kwa ninga pera nyaya. Ninga pera nyaya because denda padara magistrate. Ninga pa magistrate married drink. And so the chief magistrate called for an immediate stop to this practice, saying all bail decisions must be made with due diligence and integrity. And it was noted that with concern that magistrates are not thoroughly analyzing facts exposed in the state papers and evidence presented before them. Instead, many magistrates seem to merely endorse state concessions without properly examining the circumstances underlying such consent. Apart from being contrary to the dictates of the law, this practice undermines the proper administration of justice and must cease with immediate effect. And so guys, that's the latest here. I hope my magistrate I don't improve on these all situations, because like normal Chinese who are caught with cocaine, I mean there was no need for them to be carried bail. Bail, but don't want one but you put a cocaine, and everything was on video. Everything was on video. The cocaine that they were having. Even we had to have to quote if do cocaine I put na bakato bad to red-handed. But I was so surprised to have my bail, because if you look at it in China, and China before a bail, cocaine, and so if this situation was reversed, you won't be carried bail for cocaine in China, not at all. And so this is something that I wanted to talk about here on my favorite channel, on Prince Mille Entertainment TV. And so we'll continue here with top stories here. And so City of Blair has advised residents that there's gonna be water supply disruptions. So the City of Blair has advised residents and stakeholders that ongoing upgrade works at the Umzungwane pump station have been delayed, pushing back the expected restoration of full water supply. The improvements initially scheduled for completion on Monday, 6 October 2025, have been delayed due to delays in the delivery of materials and fabrication process at the site. Town Clerk Christopher Dube on Tuesday, October 7, said that the city now expects the works to be completed with all systems successfully tested by Friday, 10 October 2025. In the meantime, the water supply will remain inconsistent and will be managed according to reservoir levels. Distribution will also depend on the capacity of the city reservoirs. The upgrades are meant to boost pumping capacity and make the water supply more reliable to Bulawayo residents. And so guys, that's the latest here. Panyayemfura in the city of Bulawayo. And yes, so another based preacher, Prophet Walter Magaya, yes, I extended as a few days ago. Another based preacher, Walter Magaya, and his wife Tendai have secured a reprieve in the long-running financial troubles after paying $180,000 to Getback's microfinance bank and signing a deed of settlement for the remainder of their outstanding debt. The arrangement comes after months of legal wrangling in which Getbacks sought the liquidation of the couple's estate over a $420,140.72 debt. In a high court application filed in June 2025, the bank accused the Magayas of insolvency, alleging that their failure to meet financial obligations was part of a deliberate effort to evade payment and conceal assets According to court documents, the latest settlement was reached after the couple offered to pay the debt installments, having already cleared nearly half of the amount. The deed of settlement effectively suspends liquidation proceedings on the condition that the Magayas honor the agreed payment plan. The Prophet's Healing Deliverance PhD Ministries leader has faced growing financial and legal pressures in recent months. Only last week, the High Court issued a writ of execution authorizing the auction of PhD Ministries, hotels, lodges, stadium, and other developments on Stand 168 Prospect Waterfalls, Harare. The case was brought by Chinese national Li Xingyang, who successfully applied for the sale under case number SH3294/25. Earlier this year, the Magayas narrowly avoided losing another property after their company, Planet African Private Limited, voluntarily entered corporate rescue proceedings. Court records also reveal that the previous attempts by creditors to recover death through movable property were blocked by interpleader claims filed by the Walter Magaya Family Trust and PhD Ministries. And the second security Magaya and $420,000. I mean, recently the man received a car from Sevigno. He also received some cash from Sevigno, and you could sell the car and pay the debt. I mean, because that car made back music. That car made back. I don't think you need that car. I mean, for you he's a prophet. Of course, he has his own collection of cars. So you could easily sell that maybe up on Sevigno and pay the debt. So they managed to raise $180,000 and they paid get back so that they won't liquidate my assets and go to the High Court 10 years ago, and so that getbacks can get their money back. Remember, if you borrow money, all you need to do back is to pay back. And can you borrow money, you need to pay the money back. Simple as that. If you borrow money, you have to pay back. Otherwise, you have to pay back. And recover money, and so they may end up paying them back, which is a good thing. And so other story I want to talk about we'll be talking about this story on our sister channel, which is Prince Miller Entertainment TV, on Zimex TV. We talked about the 3 Kwadzana children which were found in the car boot, and the kids were buried yesterday, which was the 7th of October, and yes, it's a very, very sad situation here. And so the 3 children were found dead in the boot of a car in Kwadzana extension last Friday. They were laid to rest yesterday, which was Tuesday. According to the ZBC News, siblings Anopaisha and Anotidaisha Muzanangu were buried in January village in Churumanzu, while Renold Matsiwe was buried in Chunze village, Uzumba Maramba Pfungwe. And so I'm still going to be looking at the forensic post-mortem, which was supposed to be released yesterday. So I'm going to be looking for that, so that I will let you know, guys, what really happened to the kids. And so Anotination was 1 year and 10 months, while Renaud was 2 and Anopaisha was 4. The 3 children last seen on Wednesday around 10 a.m. That's Wednesday last week. Were only discovered around 2 p.m. on Friday, it was last Friday, locked inside the car belonging to a 50-year-old Kenneth Damba. The parents of the deceased, Mr. Mutandiro, 29, mother of Anopaisha and Ananyasha, and the polite manager, 34, had been doing housework at the time while the children played near the gate. After failing to find them, a neighbor informed the parents that the children had been seen playing at a nearby tuck shop. A missing persons report was filed around 8 p.m. on Friday. The first person to discover the bodies was a male nurse from the store of Harare, Evans Berejena, 51, who lives in the same neighborhood. So guys, that's the latest here. It's a very sad situation, and which happened in Kwadzana. And I mean, in Rwanda, because we lost 3 young, very young toddlers. Unfortunately, I mean, 1 year, 4 year, 2 years. I mean, those were young kids that we lost. And yes, we really don't know what really happened to those kids. But one thing I know, and one thing that I do understand, it's like kids are kids. Kids that do play. Maybe wakapinda mota wakazvivarira vega. I don't know what happened, but we need to be very, 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 we want to know where our kids are in the first place. And at the same time, we need to be very aware of our kids. Otherwise, we end up with these kind of situations here. And one our time, of course, but we don't know what really happened. There are so many versions of stories which have been circulating on social media. Other people saying with this and that. I mean, and some people end up saying that I mean, there are so many versions of stories which were circulating on social media, but none of them were verified by the police. Missing parts. So sometimes social media end up exaggerating things. Some of the things are necessary, but at the end of the day, we just need to look after our kids. This is so important because the next generation and the mother lost 2 kids at the same time. The painful that she's having at the moment, I mean, it's so deep, very, very deep. And in this whole situation, but I'm going to look for the post-mortem results, which was about to be released yesterday by the police. So I'm going to do some digging, and I'll be back here, guys, let you know what really happened. So yesterday I did a video about the IMF saying that the currency is overvalued. Some people saying or whatsoever. We did a video here yesterday on the 7th of October saying that the IMF said the Z currency is overvalued. So the International Monetary Fund has said that the apparent stability of the Zimbabwe gold ZiG is due to heavy intervention by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe rather than the sound economic policy. So RBZ is much involved in stabilizing the ZiG currency, but it doesn't correspond with what is happening in Zimbabwe at the very moment. And so the ZiG, which was introduced in April last year, Zimbabwe's 6th attempt in over a decade to establish a stable currency. However, the currency has remained in short supply and has largely been rejected by the informal sector, which dominates the Zimbabwean economy. We all know that the informal sector, ZiG, they prefer US dollar other than ZiG. And ZiG becomes more, I mean, the ZiG really stable, like now it's because of the demand. Ishoma per market is very good to own a ZiG Maastrichts, and that's why research is none, and because RBZ is holding it, and vakaribata kuti G saka kuti uri kwacho rutonika apo naapo, and the rate racho manje inenge iri nani compared to the US dollar. The reason why is because it's rare to find ZiG Maastrichts, and so the IMF noted that official exchange rate is overvalued and not determined by market forces, which is 100% true. What more do you want to hear? And so if you are coming up here and saying this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie, come on, guys. Are you in Zimbabwe? Are you in the streets? Where is George Glass ticket? So don't come and say it's a lie or whatsoever. This has nothing to do with Chamisa or Nangaga or whatsoever. This is the real truth. Come on, guys. There's the background. This is what's really happening. Nothing sinister here. This is not a pretending situation. This is a situation which is on the ground. So if you are saying this is a lie, you can come and give me some facts so we can talk about it. Otherwise, stop saying it's a lie. And this is not a lie. This is not a lie at all. And so other story which I want to talk about, 2 ZNPF land barons arrested in 1.5 million US dollar scam. The two senior NPF officials from Hopley have been arrested by the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, which is ZEC, for allegedly defrauding home seekers of 1.5 million US dollar. That's what I'm saying to you guys, which parale panemari, andika parale panemari, 1.5 million US dollar, andika land scandal. Phineas Muchichwa, 41, the NPF chairperson for the Godfrey Chichikau district, and Anderson Fredson, the party's branch secretary chief for the Josiah Magama branch, are accused of illegally allocating privately owned land to unsuspecting individuals. The spokesperson Smithson Plevo said the two allegedly subdivided state number 34 in Territorial Township, Hopley, a 9.3 hectare piece of land owned by Social Developments Private Limited, into more than 200 residential stays, which were sold for around $300 US each. Muchichwa and Felson are said to have targeted fellow party members and other desperate home seekers in the area, taking advantage of the several house shortage in Harare. The two were expected to appear in court yesterday, 6 October, to formally charged with fraud. CX said investigations are still ongoing and that more arrests would follow as additional victims come forward. So what is I must stand there with $300 US each? I mean, can you relations ones must stand there? They might three wire. Of course, you know, you are married and I mean, but you know what? You never know. The reason why is because these guys, I think they were using Sanganos on the PF, so by Mama stands there, other party, so you know. Parties the single cost and so this is another aim whereby you can easily make money. You know, you can make people believe and so 200 things what pick what mama 3 wire cash that's $300 US. I mean, you can easily make money very quick. So these guys, they made 1.5 million US dollar. And within a space of time, selling machines, as your personal land belong to someone else. And so the moment when Boda but the moment when Boda you are the greater, say what Pamuria Papa Spain, and you guys are illegal here, you guys are not supposed to be here. This land belongs to us. Mono wa kutenge sele mastendoya, ni house abatika, ni la tiza akusanzwisa out chikizarinen zemisangano. I mean, this is so bad, man. This has been happening for so many years in Zimbabwe that some people will be using the party regalia or the party's theme or the parties whatsoever especially the poor people who have nothing. When I was not married to that cheaper state. Because we want to save money, because I must say that I want kids. There's nothing like that in Zimbabwe. I think by now we should have learned our lesson with a kuna land, take us on the price yet $300 US. So these guys, they lost 1.5 million US, and unfortunately they won't be recovering their $300 US because they're not smaller, so so you know, in Hopley, I'm sorry, you guys. You know, you have made a loss because this land belongs to someone else, and those people who sold this land to you, they knew that that land doesn't belong to them. And so this is unfortunate a situation. We need to be very careful when we buy land in Zimbabwe, because some people that are no good, some people that are there to take your money. But so guys, I think we've covered a lot here on Daily News Breaking News on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Hey, come on! I want to do this every week, and personally, I want to do this every week. I want to talk to you every week here on this channel. All you need to do, guys, is to like, is to share, subscribe, comments. You guys are free to comment in the comment section. I was want to thank you once again for joining us. Thank you once again for being part of us here. And thank you once again, for subscribing to the channel. Yes, this is your favorite channel here, Prince Miller Entertainment TV, daily news, everyday news. Yes, tell a friend to come here and support us I mean, we've been doing this for the last 5 years or so, and I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back here on this channel. I'm happy to be back with you guys. Follow us on all our social media platforms, on our Instagram page. We're available also on our Facebook page. We are posting on our Facebook page, and also available on our YouTube page, which is our Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Your support means a lot. Because by supporting you guys, apana, you guys, tipa manyawi kutitiramba chingoita more and more and more and more. So your support means a lot, and I'm so happy to do this video because I'm happy to be here. And so thank you once again for being part of us. Thank you once again for subscribing. I think I've touched so many topics which I've written down here. I think I've done. I think I've talked a lot. The time is like here. And remember, the Reprieve conference is happening in Mutodi. Yes, before I forgot, we're gonna be also with you guys here. We're gonna be talking about it here. Of course, we're gonna be giving you guys my insights. What will be happening in Mutodi? Yes, I'm gonna be here, of course. And so don't miss the conference, which is starting next week from the 13th of October to the 18th of October. Remember, parents only they are not going to be talking about the succession of ZANU-PF leader, and succession ya Mnangagwa ichataurwa ku Congress muna 2027. So this conference, they're talking about what the promises they made in 2023 in terms of next elections, and so it's all about development, about vision 2030, about what they promised the electorate community tap up in my developments ataka promise on remember 2023 until now tap up what's the way forward. So this conference is more like a catch up. They're doing a catch up, but if you want the more juicy stories about who's going to be succeeding or whatsoever, this is going to be happening in 2027, and in the ZANU-PF conference, of course, we're going to be there. We're going to be here. We're going to be talking about it here and on this channel on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. So guys, thank you once again. Thank you for being here. We'll be keeping you up to date with latest. And remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, and follow us everywhere. Thank you once again, guys.